Here it is. The 7-step process for healing, shifting, transmuting anything. Crazy, right? It's simple. It's so simple. It's so easy and simple. And I've distilled this down into 7 steps. So when I talk about healing, shifting, transforming anything, kind of our doorway into this is I want to make this experiential, right? I want this to be a gift to you. I want this to be, this is a wisdom teaching, right? This is what I would teach those in Circle. This is what I taught those in Circle 24 hours ago. So this video is actually inspired by our Sacred Sexuality Circle, who we had a live Zoom call, a Q&A, and this came up. And I wanted to bring it to you all. So please don't think that this is just another yada, yada, yada YouTube video of, oh great, another talking head giving me some steps to healing. This is tried and true. This is extremely well tested. Not just by myself, but thousands of people around the world. It's what I give those who are doing the deepest, most intense programs with me. It's these 7 steps, right? I'm not watering them down. I'm not holding back. I'm gonna give you all of them. All right, so that's kind of an invitation to take this seriously, to watch it until the end, to switch off all other distractions, to be here, like fully be here, be present. When I invite you to experience something, just give it a go, right? Don't take my word for it. I can say that I have used this process many, many times, and I have shared it with those I work with many, 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 many times. But don't even take my word for it. Try it. Like just try it. Give it a go. Also, in this conversation, be open to what your inner teacher's saying. Be open to tears randomly coming, be open to aha moments, be open to kind of that like still small voice within going, this part, this one, pay attention, right? So this invitation to just set yourself up, give yourself the space. We're probably gonna go for another 20 minutes, so 25 minutes, you'll see, of course, you're on YouTube, you'll know. In the middle of creation of it, I don't have a clue, but you get to see exactly how long it is. So just set yourself up for success. This is experiential embodiment. This is 7 steps to working with the shit that annoys us, right? The stuff in life that just keeps coming back around and slapping us in the face, whatever it might be. It can be anything. It can be something physical. It could be your weight. It could be the relationship you have with your body, your looks. It could be your sexuality. It could be some specific aspect of sexual expression. It could be relationship. It could be mom stuff, dad stuff, family stuff, sibling stuff, friend stuff, career stuff. So let's do it. Let's do this. All right. Step 1, super simple. Identify what it is that keeps coming around. Identify what it is that you're kind of being called to look at, to see. And our identification point, like some signs that you know it's a good one, is that it's annoying. It's aggravating. And you can start simple, right? You don't have to go to like the gutsiest, goriest, deepest one, although you can, because this goes all over. It goes seemingly surface level stuff, although a lot of times the seemingly surface level stuff takes us into deep fucking unconscious places. So be very, very open and very, very curious as to where this takes you. So just trust whichever one's coming up for you in this moment. Just kind of scan through the different aspects, the different areas of your life, family life, sex life, relationship life, physical life, career life, creative life, there's many other different areas too, but just kind of scan through and go, you know what, this one thing in this area of my life is just top of mind right now. And just go with that. Go with that. This is an experiential journey. We're working together, right? We're working together. Let's do this, right? If you're gonna spend time watching a fucking YouTube video, let's get some juice out of this. Like, let's get some of the goods out of it, right? So let me make this experiential for you. Let me make this embodied for you, but you have to choose to do that, right? I'm gonna give you all of it, but you have to choose to go in instead of just listening to this while you're driving your car going like, I don't know, there's like 1,000 things that drive me crazy. Pick one. Pick one and say you're gonna do it. Say, okay, cool. I'm gonna experiment with this. If this is the 7 fucking steps to healing and this is gonna transform and change anything, why would you not do this? What is there to lose? Give it a go. All right, so you've identified the thing, like the niggly thing. I'm gonna use an example of a broken leg that I had. So because it makes it super tangible, it's an old example, but it's a very easy example. So I'll kind of weave in between, here's the teaching, here's the example of how that relates. Here's the teaching, here's the example, here's the, right? Because it'll help, I promise. It'll make it more practical, more tangible, like a little grounded in a way. So for me, I identify, and it's, my leg is broken. My leg is broken. And it's really aggravating, it's really irritating. I am not in good relationship with my broken leg. And this is totally true. So everything I'm telling you is a totally true story from about 10 years ago, mountain biking accident, plates and pins, broken, like shattered bone sticking out of my leg. It was crazy shit. Anyways, I am not in right relationship with this right ankle. I know that. Okay, cool. So that's step 1. Got it? Good, easy. Step 2 gets a little more complicated. Step 2 is to fully dive into it. To give ourselves the space, the time, the permission. It's really just saying, okay, it serves me to go into this. It actually totally fucking serves me to dive into this broken leg. I want to avoid it. I want to ignore it. I want to pretend it didn't happen. I want to pretend it's not there. I want to, whatever it is, push it away, numb out, anesthetize. I want to, but the thing that most serves is for me to dive into it. So it's instead of avoiding a challenging conversation, avoiding a challenging situation, avoiding a pain point, we're actually gonna dive right into the pain. This sounds fucking insane. It's not. I promise you, I promise you, I promise you, I promise you, I promise you. This is why this is so hidden. This is why this 7 steps, even though they're super simple and super easy, this is why it's so hidden, is because most of us think that this is not going to serve, think it's counterintuitive. By the way, this video is partially inspired by the Martha Beck interview, right? Which was a previous episode. If you haven't seen it, I would not suggest watching it now because we're in the middle of an experiential embodied journey, but it's something that you could follow up with. You'll find a link up here, you'll find a link down below, and you'll probably find a link at the end of this video too, to go dive into that. And there are tangible, beautiful examples of this that Martha Beck, who wrote New York Times bestselling author like numerous times over, and she just wrote this book, beautiful book, The Way of Integrity. And actually, right here, Way of Integrity. I have it out because we were just having our conversation. So, feeling into, all right, I'm not going to push this away. I'm not going to ignore this. I'm not going to do whatever. I'm going to walk into this thing. I'm going to walk into this, and I'm going to walk into it. This starts to get to step 3 now. This starts to get to step 3. I'm going to walk into it. I'm going to be so curious. I am going to be so curious about what's here. I'm going to be so curious. Okay, so let me explain my step 2 and step 3 just to give you some tangibleness to this, but you might already start to feel your awareness, your intention, and your attention. And here's a little secret about what's coming in the further steps: your love. Your love, your acceptance, your compassion, your capacity to almost like retrieve this. Okay, but we'll get there. So that's just a sneak preview. Make sure you listen to the end because we'll dive into that. But maybe right now you can feel your attention, intention, your awareness, your focus flowing into that aspect of your life. And just do that. Do that energetically. Maybe you want to do it later on very physically and tangibly. You want to write about it, right? You want to write about it, or you want to talk about it to another. Although be careful talking about it to another. We oftentimes twist things, or we filter things, or we mirror the person who's holding the space. So unless they're a really good open space holder with no judgment, right? They're like Anam Cara, we've talked about this many times, soul friend, someone who really can hold without judgment, without wanting you to go a certain way, right? Many people will want us to go a certain way because it serves them in some way, right? So just be careful, be cautious with that one. There are definitely soul friends, and most of us have really good soul friends. So that's a good person to have a conversation with. But so in this, right, we're experientially doing this, we're embodying this. By the way, this is not like a one and done process most of the time. It's not even like a 1 day process. Most of the time it can be hours and hours and hours and hours. It can be days and days and days and days, and we can be in certain steps for however long we're in certain steps. So don't get stuck on that either. All right. So our awareness, our attention, our intention is flowing into that aspect that we chose. So number 1 was identify. 2 is let our awareness go right there. No more pushing it away. We are letting our energy, our life force flow right into it. So for me, broken ankle, totally don't want to go there. I totally don't want to accept that I can't walk, right? So I consciously, this is after days, right, of not being able to look at my black and blue foot, not being able to touch it because it was so gross to me. After days, finally going, oh my gosh, I'm actually disassociating from a huge part of my body and from an accident and from an energetic thing that has happened to me that was pretty freaking big. This is not going to be helpful or useful in the long run. I'm going to create some really weird stuff here if I keep doing this. So brought all of my attention, intention, awareness, energetics, and at the time for me it was love. Again, we're going to step into that a little bit deeper, but I brought that into my leg, and I did it by a touch, right? So because it's so physical, that was how I really tangibly brought it in, as I would meditate and I would bring the energy, whereas before I could only get the energy down, I just ran into the thing, down to my right knee because it was my right ankle. So I could run energy through my whole body, right? Which is just a really good practice to do all of the time. But I could run energy all the way through my body, but I could only do it down to my right knee because I couldn't get there. And so I would do it through visualization, I would do it through touch, I would do it through gazing, like I would just look, like I would force myself to look at this mangled, horrifically looking leg. And I would go, wow, that's me. That's me. So in this, oftentimes what just arises is just, and we'll deepen into this, there's just this acceptance that kind of happens, right? This is me in my current form. And you can look at any aspect and there's like this acceptance that happens, this is just me and I don't have to judge myself for it, right? But there's an acceptance that happens here, right? So there's an acceptance that happens. Might happen here, might happen a few steps down the way, but there's an acceptance of just, this is where it's at right now. Okay. Now that I can accept where it's at, I actually have the power to bring love to it, to bring life to it, to bring transformation energy to it, right? Okay, so that's step 2, is we're just bring our awareness there. Now step 3, this is where we can go very deep into things and get many, many, many insights, right? So step 3, we can actually really start, we can get soul path insights. We can get past life regression stuff coming out. We can get family patterns coming out. We can start to dig into unconscious realms, right? Depending on where we're at and what our training is around that and how open that is to us. So it doesn't matter if that's not your jam, right? You'll go as deep as you're meant to go, as deep as you're wired to go, as deep as you're ready to go. But step 3 is just get curious. So in this level of acceptance, at least a tiny little bit of acceptance, we get really curious about it. So we get curious and we just go, what's here? What's here? What's here? So just do that right now. Do that right now with that aspect of life, that thing that you're working with. Just get like, what is here? Like what is here? And you just kind of like swim in it. You just swim, and you want to swim like deeper. It's like you're swimming deeper and deeper and deeper. Like, okay, what else is here? What else is here? What else is here? And when you're getting curious about this, let ourselves get curious about emotions. Let ourselves get curious about what's happening in our body. Let ourselves get curious about what's happening in our psyche, what's happening in our mental field, what's happening in our vision, what's happening in our dreams, what's happening. So we want to be open to all layers of our being speaking to us, all layers of our being speaking to us. So my emotions might have something to say about this. My thoughts might have something to say about this. My unconscious might have something to say about this. I can access that in meditation. I can access that in dreams. I can sometimes access that in like free flow writing. So we want to be open to like all at my body. We all have body wisdom, right? My body can go into like this pattern. I might be thinking about work, right? This thing at work is just like really rubbing me the wrong way. And I suddenly notice like, whoa, my body's in this like weird contortion. Okay, they're obviously linked, and get curious. Like, what is this weird contortion? What is this? Here's another powerful question to ask here. Here's a very powerful question. Very fucking powerful. You ready? Don't skip this part. It's very powerful. This helps us to sometimes get deeper. Does this bring about anything related to childhood? Does this remind me of someone or something from childhood? That's a good one. It's a good one to help us to get deeper into more of those unconscious realms. Does this, so maybe I'm, my thing is this work thing. I'm in this contorted place. I'm like, wow, what is this? Okay, I'm getting curious. Does this remind me of anything about childhood? I mean, you could go, depending on, how open you are and where you're at and what's all available to you, but you could literally go to a place of fetal position. Like, holy shit. Like, this is because I wasn't coming out at birth. Well, like shit. This is actually part of my birth trauma. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. Depending, of course, what's available to you, what's accessible to you, right? How deep you've gone, how open these capacities are in each of us. But you can legitimately get to places like birth trauma. And oh my God, this is how this birth trauma pattern, which I haven't cleared, healed, shifted, transmuted, transformed, evolved past, plays out in my life. I distrust other humans, and that's what's happening. I'm not kidding. Like, is this not the most amazing thing ever? This is not the most amazing thing ever. It is fucking glorious. By the way, for those of you who are like, wow, I really want to be able to go into these deep places, find the spaces that will take you there. Find the facilitators that will take you there. Our mystery schools go into those places. When we work with archetypes, they go into these places. All of our programs hold this intention to open us up to more of self, to give us access to more of self, right? So that we can access these deeper, more unconscious realms. Anyways, that's a little side note. You'll find details, website here, website down there. Sign up. This way you'll always know when we do a lot of free events that will actually take you super, super, super deep. We also have programs that are available all the time that'll take you super deep. So sign up, website, all over the place. Then you'll also not miss out when we do launch Mystery School, which is coming up, by the way. It's coming up. So is Priestess training. I know that's a weird way of saying that, but we'll talk more about that later. Not in this video. So subscribe so then I can share it with you. All right. So that is step 3. I'm gonna leave it at that. I could do another whole, here's the deal. If you want me to do more on that, leave a comment below. So if you're on YouTube, leave a comment below if you want more on that. Like, cause I could talk about this part and how to access these deeper realms. I don't know, for days and days and days and days and days and days and days. So if you want more on that, leave a comment. We read everything. We love hearing what our community has to say. So please leave comments, hit the like button, subscribe so you don't miss the future episode that you might be interested in. All right, so curious, get curious, get curious, get curious, get curious. That's step 3. By the way, you can go back and forth in all of these steps. It's not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It could be 1, 2, 3, back to 2, down to 3, into 4, back to 3, back to 4, 5, back to 3. So just really, really listen. Really, really listen and really, really trust, right? And again, if you're like, I don't know how to develop that capacity, do one of our programs. Everything is about developing our relationship to that inner teacher, to our own intuition, to our own wisdom within. So that voice gets louder and louder and clearer and clearer and clearer. Okay, so step 4. We've gotten curious. We bring all of that stuff with us. So whatever it is that has been like snowballed. It's almost like in step 3, it's like a snowball going down a hill and it just picks up more. It picks up more, it picks up more. It's like, wow, this started out as just one tiny little niggly work thing. And now it's snowballed into bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'll go back to my example too, as soon as we get through 4 a little bit more. So now 4 is, you've got your snowball of everything that you got curious about and everything that's rolled into it. And number 4 is find ways to move energy, right? So it's find ways that work for you with where you're at, right? So I might tell you to move and you're like, movement's not open to me. I might tell you to do some breath work. Breath work's not open to you. I might tell you to write a really angry letter and burn it. That might be open to you. So really just honoring where you're at and what tools you have available at this moment in time. What is it that allows you to move energy? What is it? What is it? And feel into the different ways of moving energy. Emotions are energy. Emotions are energy. Tears are energy. Tears are energy. Rage, right? Now this is, I always have to say this, make sure that you're in a safe space, right? This is your journey. This is your journey. If you have someone who's trained to hold you, if you're in a circle like mine and we're holding you, we're all trained for that. Your partner is typically not trained for that. Your mom is typically not trained for that, right? So really honor, this is your process. When you are doing some releasing, either get into appropriate spaces where others will hold you or find ways that you can hold yourself or feel held. Lean into like great mother. Lean into like unconditional love. Lean into whatever it is that feels nurturing and supportive. Mother Mary is a great one. Sometimes for some, Shiva, right? Shiva, or like the fullness of the divine masculine. I still have to, whenever I say masculine, I still have to like really emphasize divine because everyone's like, so feel into what helps you. And then this is an important part for step 4. Let yourself have it, right? This is the part where we do not need to be rational. We do not need to be reasonable. We do not need to any of that stuff. This is like freedom to roar, freedom to cry, freedom to dance wildly, freedom to rip our clothes off and be an animal crawling on the ground. This is freedom to move energy in the way that this energy wants to move. So you might go, cool, here's the energy. It's in the pit of my belly, right? Or it might be this, like, let's go back to this example of like, I found this like frozen fetal position where I'm stuck in the womb. And you go, okay, all right, if this energy were to move, if it were going to start to move, how would it move? Oh, okay, it would move like that. And you just let yourself do it. You let yourself do it. Or maybe it's in your chest. And you go, how does this energy want to move? Let the energy move, right? Sometimes it helps us to start a movement, right? To start like, okay, a movement, if it's in my chest, a movement would be opening my chest, letting some big breath come in there, finding some sound is really good, right? So for those of you who've been working with me, you know all of our modalities: breath, movement, sound, visualization, energetic intention, touch, right? And so you just get all of those things going, and then you go, okay, if now the energy itself that's associated with my snowball is gonna start moving, how does it wanna move? Oh, it wants to move that way. Oh, actually that like hurts my back. There's probably something there. See? Anyways, that's where I would then go, right? Because I'm still in curious mode. Do you see how these weave? Oh, I love when I get put on example in the middle of trying to share something. So this is one of those times where, right? So I'm here and this was the movement, and then I go, holy smokes, is there a pain in the back of my heart? Like, whoa. And so then I would go there, right? Because I'm getting curious. So this took me to heart, which then took me, whoa, okay, what's here? And then I'll go there, and I really open up to all the modalities that I have free in myself. So for me, I mean, I don't know how many other ones there are. I think they're kind of infinite, but for me, it's like breath, movement, sound, energetic intention, visualization, touch. All of it is available. All of it is available. And so find ways to move the energy. That's it. All you're doing is moving the energy. Your whole intention here is to move the energy and to give the energy you let the energy move you, right? How does it want to move? That's your question. How does it want to move? How does it want to move? How does the energy want to move? Be open to emotions, be open to physicalness, be open, all different ways that we move energy in our body. All right, that's 4. 5. I'm going to try to make this a little bit quicker because we're getting long. So 5 is after we move a lot of energy and we feel like we get to a point where something shifts, like something has shifted, right? Like, and it can be very subtle, or it can just feel like, oh, well, I'm not sad anymore, right? It could just be as simple as that, or my back doesn't hurt anymore. And then drop into step 5, which is there anything here for me to forgive? And you feel into forgiveness. Maybe I need to forgive myself. Maybe I need to forgive another. Maybe I need to forgive a group of people. Maybe I need to forgive an experience. Maybe I need to forgive a past life. Maybe I need to forgive. You just move into forgiveness and you go, okay, if I'm going to forgive, I'm going to forgive. Forgiveness is so powerful for shifting, transforming, transmuting, and setting us fucking free. It sets you free. So you go into forgiveness, right? And you can also feel into the energy of I set you free, I set you free, I set you free, I set me free. I set it free. I set it free. You're free. You're free. You're free. I forgive. I forgive. I forgive. I let go. 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 So this forgiveness piece is also a releasing. So it can be mixed, right? The forgiveness leads to the releasing, leads to the letting go. And sometimes you even feel an alchemical nature of something shifting and transmuting and changing, right? Something shifting, transmuting, changing. Now, don't forget these steps you can go back and forth in them. So this might actually take you into a deeper moving of energy, right? You might go into forgiveness and now you're crying. And then you go, oh, okay, there's more to move energy. Moving energy is also releasing. It's also transmuting. It's also shifting. It's also healing things, right? So just kind of, you can bounce back and forth again, go in this order, but don't hesitate to like bump up and down. Okay. Step 6 is there anything here for me to know, to see, to reclaim? Sometimes we go so deep into something that it's literally a soul retrieval. We literally come to a place of we are taking our power back. We are taking part of our essence back. We are quite legitimately doing a soul retrieval for ourselves, right? Sometimes we are opening up to a wisdom that's within, right? Sometimes we're reclaiming an innate knowing or an innate power or an innate gift. Now we start to get into all of the esoteric stuff, but that's all here, is we start to go, this is just, I just innately know, and I've been denying this. I've actually been denying this, and that's what's been causing me pain. I've been limiting my own potential, and that's what's been causing me pain and creating these random situations in my life that rub me the wrong way, right? So sometimes, not sometimes, but always here you want to go, what is there to reclaim? What is there to remember? What is there to open up to? Also in here, in this reclaiming, opening up to, is listening for guidance. Listening for guidance. What is this teaching me? What is this showing me? What is this asking me? Where is it asking me to go? What decision is it asking me to make, right? So you ask those questions. Ask them, right? Back to the start of this. This is all delivered to you on a silver platter. This is so stinking perfect for you. This is so stinking perfect for you. Well, why? Why? Like, what is it? Because there are jewels here. There are jewels here. There are gifts here. There's wisdom here. There's insight here. And so now is embodying those, taking those in, remembering those, reclaiming those, taking those in and really embodying those, right? Step 7. Standing in a place of like wholeness, right? So you've reclaimed, you've released, standing in a place of wholeness, and honoring that thing, honoring that snowball, honoring that initial event in your life, like honoring it, blessing it, giving it a blessing. I bless you. I bless you. I bless you. Blessing it, honoring it, blessing it, loving it. Here's the love piece that I mentioned before, loving it. I have nothing but love, honor, gratitude, reverence for you. And then you let it float on down the river. You let it float on down the river. I literally take myself to a riverside and I pour my blessings upon it, right? I pour my blessings upon it. I mean, literally take myself to a riverside. It's in my mind's eye, right? I don't have any rivers up here in the mountains of Colorado, close to me anyways. But I pour my blessings upon it. I pour my blessings upon it. I pour my blessings, my reverence, my gratitude. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the lessons. Thank you for the life trajectory change. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the teachings. You're my teacher. You're my teacher. Thank you. Thank you. You pour the blessings on it, and then you let it flow down the river. You let it flow down the river. And as it's flowing down the river, you cut any cords that need to be cut as it's getting further and further away. You pull out any tendrils, right? So this is still part of the releasing and the honoring and the blessing, and with love. Is there any residual from that can go? Any residual that can go. And you just do it. You can do it with your hand, you can do it visually, you can do it with your, just hold the intention and access to all of it, right? Breath, sound, movement, visualization, energetic intention, touch, all of it. All of it, all of it, all of it, all of it, all of it. And that's it. How good is that? How good is that? You can do this with anything. You can come back to this video as many times as you want to remember how to do it. You can work through something with me and then take it into your own practice. You can go into step 1, 2, 3, back to 2, into 3, into 4, back to 3, into 5, into 3, right? Just really, really trusting how long it takes. I've worked with a few past life things that came up for me, and it was months, like months of this process, months of getting to a stage of finding forgiveness, months. And that forgiveness also feels like right relationship. So there's another little trick, another little key. When the subtle shift happens, you almost feel like, oh my gosh, now I'm in right relationship to this. There are no hooks left, right? It's not hooky. There's no hook left. Does that make sense? The thing doesn't have its claws in you. It doesn't have a hook, right? You are literally liberating. It's liberation. It is literally liberation. You can work on deep, deep, deep karmas through this place. You can work on past life stuff, past life memories. You can work on current life stuff. I'm telling you, it can really go anywhere. So feel free to dive into this as often as you like, as much as you like. Feel free to share it. I think that hopefully, my aim anyways, was to deliver it in a way that this can be shared with clients, of ours. If maybe you're a therapist or a yoga instructor, people are asking you questions, and you're like, I try this. Like, here, try this. But just, if there's anyone that you feel like this 7 steps might serve, anyone working with anything, feel free to share it, really and truly. Of course, on a super mundane level, it helps our YouTube channel and blah, 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 blah. But really, this is about us just sharing the good stuff in the world, so we've got tools to work deeper with self, so that we have tools to heal, because it makes it a better world for all of us. It fucking makes this whole existence, this whole human experience, a better place for all of us. So please, if you feel to support or feel to share or feel to comment or feel to subscribe or whatever, feel to join us in a program to go deeper, just wholeheartedly, let's do that. Let's do it. All right. So much love to you. Mwah.